What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. My name is Miles. I'm a 22-year-old full-time Amazon seller, and that's what we talk about here on the channel, all things Amazon FBA, and more importantly, how you can make money doing it. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe below. I post every single day and do some really long live streams with some awesome creators like we have here. And today we're here with almost a multi-seven-figure used book, specifically textbook seller, my good friend Avery Romer the Romer, to talk about how he essentially automated a good part of his business, which now does over 100K in revenue monthly at a good profit clip. So Avery, you want to introduce yourself a little bit, give like a brief background of your story and how you got to where you are today?
Yep, so my name's Avery, aka Romer the Romer. My middle name's Romer. I go by Romer, the R-O-A-M-E-R, because I traveled the country living in my car for a few months, about 3 months, and now I travel the world. So I've been to 4 different countries so far, which I know is not impressive.
Spain next week,
yeah. If you guys follow me, like over the next 10 years, I'm gonna hit like 100 plus countries. So make sure to follow on Instagram for that journey. But that is what drives me, is travel, living a flexible life, being able to do what I want when I want, which is why I started an Amazon FBA business. And so yeah, I started when I was in college. Sold my textbooks, eventually sold my friend's textbooks, took a $700 loan from my dad, purchased as many textbooks on campus as I could, and so that started my book business. Completely forgot about books for a few months, did landscaping, coached wrestling, and made barely any money coaching wrestling. Actually made decent money landscaping, but not that much.
And you can't scale things.
Yeah, it was a
like
50-50 split with my friend. He was married at the time. We didn't really have the same vision in terms of hours put into the business per week. And it was a service-based business, not a product-based business, so I was out working. Anybody that has a job knows that you work a service and you're not selling a product. So somebody that works, a $10 an hour job, you could sell a product. Let's see, a product that's worth a lot. This is worth $100 right here.
Flask.
You could sell one of these for the same price, that you're going to work a few hours at work. So I'd rather sell products and get the money. In my head, that was like way better at the time. And of course, product-based businesses, they bring their own struggle. And but I transitioned to product-based business and experienced the issues of cash flow, buying inventory, waiting for it to sell. And eventually I scaled my business to the point where I have so much inventory coming in at a very little cost. I don't pay much at all. Like, I pay more for advertising to get my inventory now than on actual inventory. I run a very unique business, a consignment business. I sell books for other people at restrictedinventory.com.
Yep, and so do you want to talk about why you're able to be pretty much the only person able to do that?
So for people that didn't watch the previous video, what we went over was basically my account is grandfathered in, just like if, you're a Verizon user in 2005 or 6, whatever, you get grandfathered into the super cheap phone plans. It's kind of like that with the Amazon too. You get grandfathered into selling certain products.
Yeah.
And they restrict people from selling Pearson, McGraw-Hill, like all these different textbook brands.
And just a lot of brands like toys, Nike, at the start at least, and textbooks are really one of the exclusive categories that pretty much no one even knows how to get
and with those brands, at least you can get ungated if you have invoices. With textbooks, you can't. So...
And why do they do this?
The publishers are ruthless. They want to preserve the prices of the textbooks.
It's terrible. They just want people buying new ones.
Yeah, there was a huge problem with counterfeits coming in from India, from overseas, and so that's what started this whole thing. People were getting textbooks for like literally $1 a piece and selling them for $300 online. And they found out they were counterfeit, and so that's why this whole dynamic exists.
And they started basically buying up all the used inventory and then counterfeit striking.
Yeah. So they would purchase inventory from users and say it's counterfeit. Anyway, that's a whole other story. But basically, my account can sell textbooks and other people's can't, and because of that, I've solved a problem in the market where people send me a lot of their inventory now. So yeah, that's how I started. That's really the core of my business. I also sell products, retail arbitrage. Starting a little bit of wholesale, and obviously I profit from my personal branding as well, and I'm starting a listing software. So those are really my focuses over the next year.
Yep, and where the theme of this video is like automation, delegation, virtual assistants, and all that. So do you want to talk about kind of the variety of ways you've been able to incorporate some awesome and very helpful virtual assistants into the video, like the one that's actually editing this video right now, and just use them and been able to partner up with awesome people in other countries to provide services for him at a good rate to be able to help him fill different parts of the business that maybe don't make sense for him to do as the owner.
So it doesn't really matter what business you're in or what your business model is. Like, let's just stay with Amazon sellers for the sake of this video, and how you can leverage other people to save yourself time. But I'm using a video editor, and this helps my Amazon business because the better quality videos I put out there, the more people that use my service. And there's other personal brands out there, wholesale brands, private label brands where they
Arbitrage brands.
Arbitrage brand. Yeah. And does your Amazon business grow at all with your social media?
Yeah, because I meet people and we put each other on the stuff.
So, yeah, so he has the better quality videos he puts out there, the more people he's going to get in touch with that potentially are like, hey, this is a bolo. Hey, look out for this.
Yeah, and I'd also say like the quality of questions we're answering in the DMs too, because that's where a lot of like the good relationships start, is like one-off questions
just networking
and stuff. Yeah.
Just networking overall. So I have a video editor. We can get really crazy with this if we dive deep into what I use people for, but let's stay high level for now. I think everybody should have somebody pack for them, pack and prep items to FBA. You should not be doing that yourself.
And that's only if you're a reseller. Like if you do something else, there's like even just like a personal assistant you can get for a few bucks an hour just to help out with some administrative tasks.
And so if you're a reseller, you should not be packing your own items. You shouldn't be printing. I mean, I was getting on to you about this earlier, but you're printing. He's printing labels from Seller Central and sending them to a prep center. You're probably wasting 15 minutes of your time, which is precious at scale, because that 15 minutes could be allocated towards taking a nap, or building your business, or shooting 2 TikToks that could blow up,
That's
so you can use that 15 minutes, and at a small scale it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but guys, like, if a lot of people told me to pack my own items, they told me like indefinitely, like, dude, you're too small right now. You're only doing X amount per month.
I remember you talked about going to the meetup or like the Turn the Page event, and everyone said they had employees.
Yeah, that's the one that actually changed my mind.
And Gary Vee actually talked about how he a lot of his stuff he's always overhired because he's thinking long term.
Yeah, you want to save your time so you can take more action
and do more high ROI activities.
Right, and so I was at this Turn the Page conference,
this is
book
years
sellers
ago
meetup,
too,
and I did not have the money at the time to hire somebody. Like, I was literally broke at my parents' house, and everybody at the meetup had employees, and I was like, if they have employees and I want to scale to where they're at, I need to hire an employee tomorrow. So then I hired somebody to pack items for me. If I never hired somebody to pack items for me, guess how many hours I'd be working each week?
150, 120.
It's not that. So collectively my listers, not including prep centers actually. So maybe
like
it is
100 hours a week, right?
It was 90 hours a week collectively last year, not including prep centers. So if you include the prep centers, it probably is closer to 120.
Yeah. And that's obviously multiple people, probably 5 plus.
Yes, 5 plus people, part-timers. If you add all their hours together, 90 hours a week is what my team did last year prepping for me. So if I was to do all the prep work, I would be, let's say I can go twice as fast as them, I would be prepping at least 45 hours a week.
Yeah.
And so I would
take away from so many other
I would have zero time. If I edited my YouTube videos, which, I think Graham Stephan edits his YouTube videos. Very successful YouTuber.
And a friend, like his assistant does like the second channel, I think.
Right. And so like you can do what you like to do and what you want to do. I don't buy the whole thing that people like packing inventory.
Yeah,
I don't think that's real.
I say that's the only part that sucks about selling on
I think that's an excuse. But you want to basically delegate whatever you can in your business. If there's something you can have somebody else do, I don't care what stage you're in. If you want to have $1 million business, not that I'm a millionaire yet, but I'm on my way to be, doing 6 figures plus each year.
Each month, month revenue-wise.
Revenue-wise, yeah.
And
then
profit,
last year, we paid taxes over 6 figures. That was my 3rd year in business. And this year, I don't even want to think about taxes. But if you want to have a business that's able to scale like that, the difference between a business that does $50,000 a year and $100,000 a year, when we're talking about inventory, is the person that did $100,000 a year did twice as much volume, right? We're talking about pure revenue.
Not necessarily twice the work.
Yeah, not twice the work. They did twice as much generally, and so it's like, there's a cap. It's how many items can you pack a week? Realistically, there's a cap for that. How many videos can you edit a week, and how much of this other stuff that you could have other people doing are you able to do? And pretty soon, like, your whole week's just gonna be jammed with useless stuff. And so if you want to scale to the next level, you need to delegate in your business, especially those $12 an hour tasks, listing products. There's $4 an hour tasks. There's $3 an hour tasks. You can hire virtual assistants to go in your Seller Central and fix stranded inventory. You can have your virtual assistants find products for you. You can have your virtual assistants anything you do on a computer, generally speaking, obviously there's some niche stuff that you must be doing yourself. Like I'm making a presentation for Miami 2021 where I'll be speaking about the same exact topic. That's something I should be doing. I shouldn't have my virtual assistant make the presentation for me. But when it comes to making the slides look all good, nice, that's not my strength. Like I could spend 4 hours doing it, but somebody else overseas can spend an hour doing it, and I can pay them $4 to do it, and it's going to come out much better.
So you didn't used to go hard on PowerPoints in like middle school? I used to make them look
my
really?
my PowerPoint
that's
skills.
Weak.
My PowerPoint skills are not.
I
mean,
used to grind on PowerPoint.
My PowerPoints. You can see my PowerPoints, and like they're pretty elementary. But then my virtual assistants will just take it to the next level. There's always going to be somebody better than you. Like I'm not going to be able to make the best YouTube thumbnails, you know. And so I feel like every time I put this message out there for people to delegate, and we haven't even talked about automation. People automate easier than delegate.
Yeah, well, automation it's easier because it's not human based; it's software based and stuff like Inventory Lab for accounting and listing stuff. BQ or what reprice did you use?
Reprice it.
Oh, you use reprice.
Reprice it and new price, yeah.
Really? Wow. There's some good ones you ought to look in. Like new price, definitely. I'm sure.
I have like 6 Amazon accounts, so I want to keep it cheap.
That's a whole other story. Yeah, these guys on Twitter talk about like pulling levers essentially, like only focusing on what levers can you pull that have the highest ROI and like
you gotta look at ROI in your business, and you also gotta look at like what do you want to do, and if you want to do something, you want to get it done, and you only have so much time in a day. Like for example, I have like the listing project I'm working on, making a listing software for the reselling community. I have my restricted inventory business. I did this whole chlorine thing where I sourced a ton of chlorine from
that's a
from
unicorn
Costco's.
opportunity.
Unicorn
like
opportunities.
Taylor would say.
And we spent like $100K sourcing. Like we have a bunch of different projects going on, and if I want to do everything at once, I have to delegate things to virtual assistants. You were talking about how you leveraged a prep center.
Yeah.
And that's a form of leverage as well. Like there's so many different things that you can delegate, and if it's something that you can get someone else to do and it's a tedious thing, 100% delegate it. And I feel like this message often gets diluted, or people don't interpret it right. People look at somebody like Graham Stafford, they're like, well, he edits his own videos. Well, yes, he's also got millions.
He also probably makes like $50K a video.
Yeah. So maybe he should be doing that, and he also really enjoys it. But they look at even sellers that are doing 7 figures a year.
Yeah.
But like what they're not realizing is, look at how much of the process of Amazon FBA is already delegated. Like you are shipping your products to Amazon, and then you're delegating the prepping, packing, customer service,
the individual
even
orders.
the sales channel, advertising. You are literally delegating all of that, but it doesn't feel like delegation because Amazon did it for you.
Yeah.
So you weren't taught this in school, so it doesn't come naturally to you to go out and do this. But it's a muscle that you must strengthen if you want to be able to have a business that does. I'm not going to say 6 figures because I know a lot of people are doing 6 figures, but if you want to. Like, there's a version of you that can do a 6-figure business. And there's also a version of you that can do a 7-figure business. There's a version of you that can do an 8-figure business. If you want to go to the next version of yourself that's making more money, you need to learn how to delegate and how to automate.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And so I know you have a video on hiring virtual assistants as well as Taylor Jones, who will be featured in probably several videos over the next few days on my channel in the next few weeks. He has an awesome video he just uploaded recently about hiring a virtual assistant. And I think this was very valuable, and it's really going to make me get my act together in terms of delegating some different stuff as well. But I think that's very valuable, and the light's kind of hurting my eyes here, so I think we'll finish up the video here. But all your socials will be linked below. Romer the Romer. Really appreciate it. Go check him out and go subscribe as well to both of us if you haven't already. Really appreciate it. See you guys in the next one.
Awesome. Thank you.